Спасибо большое.
Swing, that should work, and
there's the map.
We are way out over there. We zipped from somewhere around over here. We're just gone. But that actually killed 2 bosses. That killed phase 1 of Godfrey/Horaloo. That's what takes us into this cutscene. And hands off the keyboard.
Wait, but he's coming right for me.
Right for me. No, he shouldn't get me.
Oh, you got dumpster. You suck. Так, Анау-Манау с Казахстана, спасибо. The final boss just died. Так, привет, мужики, удачного стрима. Послушал на прошлом стриме про Deep Rock Galactic Fire.
And with that, we can mend the Elden Ring. And
всем советую познакомиться с Glory and Mystery Survivors. Но осторожно. Если жена рядом, не играй.
Awesome.
Так.
Alright, I want to give big shout outs to the Souls speedrunning community. They've always been so helpful and welcoming. I want to give big shout outs to GDQ for forcing me to learn 3 games for this event.
All of them very easy.
All very easy, yes. Putting all 3 on the games most likely to be rage. Excellent. And yeah, I just want to give a big thank you to basically the entire speedrunning community. Has been so welcoming, has been such a great home to have, such a great hobby to have, and has been basically just the love of my life, you know, has been speedrunning for 5 years now, so I hope to keep that going strong. So yeah, thank you so much GDQ for having me, and I think that will do it. Bye everyone.
Или там опять какой-нибудь делюкс издание, уже 17.
Hello everyone, Kung Fu Fruit up here, and this is my final interview on Saturday, and I'm losing my voice, but I'm so excited to be joined by Gymnast87, who's getting ready to do Tears of the Kingdom, any percent? Oh my gosh, did you hear that? How's it going? I'm so excited for this.
Going great. Been a great week. Hopefully we can close it off with some cool runs.
Absolutely. And this is our first time here seeing the 80% run of this game on GDQ main stage event. So I am super, super pumped because it came out, like we were just talking about, a little bit past the submission time for SGDQ. So now is the time. It is happening. So I know that, like, not only has it been, you know, 7 months-ish since the game came out, but like a lot has already been happening with the any percent run. You know, we made fun of it in the pre-show with like, oh, this duplication glitch, then this duplication glitch, then this duplication glitch. But like, kind of give me a little bit of a breakdown on like how the any percent has been changing.
Right, so we knew before the game came out that just like Breath of the Wild, the game being as open as it is means that there is nothing just blocking you from going to the final boss right away. So the 80% speedruns were already pretty fast, even just on release day, right? Like the 80% run was only an hour and a half, which is significantly shorter than basically any other Zelda game on release day.
Поняли, что парирование не должно быть суперважной частью механики.
There's been a lot of cool tech that's been discovered over the past 7 months that we're going to get to see in the 80% run today. A lot of very interesting uses of like Zonai devices and things that we're going to make with fuse combinations and stuff like that. Because just with how many things in the game that you can fuse together, you can imagine there's going to be some wild stuff that we're going to see.
I can. I have seen some wild.
I
know that there's like you can take those things in the spirit temple and put them together around Ganon, and then can't move. Like,
yeah, then he's at a supermarket, you know, setting up fish and vegetables. I think that was my favorite meme of that. Someone created a fully fledged market that Ganondorf was trapped in and looked like he was a sushi chef.
I'm gonna have to look that up immediately after that. Okay, so kind of along those lines, what do you think are some of like the most interesting pieces of tech? You can just say what they are, give us a brief description that like we're going to get to see in this 90%.
Right, so well, obviously the most useful one, which we made fun of in the pre-show, is all the duplicates that happen. We're going to be duplicating Zonai devices, useful materials, all that cool stuff. We get one of it, we basically have it infinitely. Right? We're also going to see just a lot of interesting movement with Zonai devices, specifically with the wings, because that's the one Zonai device that we get. Wings basically just allow you to fly. That's very useful in a game where there's just a lot of open space around. So it helps a lot with the routing and stuff of just basically being able to fly around and whatnot.
Right, especially when you're not going to collect any your glider.
It's just, yeah, we're not going to collect the paraglider, by the way.
Yeah, you're just going to go straight from the sky to the depths.
Yeah, it's a straight shot. You technically can go, you can technically get it so that, so, you know, there's the sky, there's the regular surface, then there's the depth. You can technically have it in the run where you only have the sky and the depths on the map. There is no surface. You never touch the surface at all.
That's so funny, yeah, because you just like go right through it. And if you all haven't seen it, this run is amazing to watch. I'm so excited. I love it. So I want to see tell me something that people won't be expecting. Anybody, if like maybe you've seen a run, maybe you haven't, but especially if you just have played the game casually, what's something that like people will not expect to be seeing?
Well, probably the coolest thing visually that I like about the 80% run is just like, we're going to be clipping out of bounds a few times, and just seeing the entire expanse of the world from out of bounds is really wild. Just as you see everything loading in and whatnot because of like all the optimization they had to do with the fact that the Switch is not the most powerful system. So visually that's going to look really cool, and that's what I'm excited to show people today.
I agree, and is there anything else special that you can do for us during this run, maybe?
Well, there is a way that we can chop off Link's legs during the run.
And his hair, right?
We can give him a buzz cut. It is possible to do that, so I guess we could probably do that as well.
We could maybe squeeze that in. I know it's like just a quick extra thing. So if we have time, maybe we'll get to see that as well. I'm so excited for this. Okay, this is just a quick chat. We just wanted to get you all hyped. I know you already are, but are you all excited for Tears of the Kingdom?
Потому что все это...
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. Well, thank you so much, Jim. I'm going to go let you get ready. I'm so excited. Also, Elden Ring was amazing, and I'm so excited for Lies of P coming up, and then Tears, and then I'll be hosting for that, so you'll hear me there. Thank you so much, Jim. Go get ready. Super excited. We'll see you soon.
Мы решили сделать ремастер.
По поводу, кстати, ухода Бобби Котика, да, и Миша тут совершенно прав.
You are watching Awesome Games Done Quick 2024, powered by Twitch. My name is Bobby Blackwolf. I am thrilled and excited to be here with you for this afternoon as we've got Lies of P coming up, we've got Trepang 2 that got added, we've got Lost Judgment coming up. There's a lot of great stuff coming up, so please don't close that tab.
Ну и сейчас великий менеджмент
Now, here's what I want to talk to you about, everybody. So you probably looked at the schedule, and I want to talk about a game that's near and dear to my heart. It's Lost Judgment coming up later today.
Сейчас они как
What is Lost Judgment doing in the middle of all these bangers? It's because Lost Judgment is a banger. And we've got banger incentives that I really want to talk to you about. We've got a super aim-on boss fight. Lost Judgment, it's in the Yakuza series. It's in the Like a Dragon series. Okay, Like a Dragon Infinite, well, coming out next week. So in these games, the Yakuza series, the Like a Dragon series, what it's called now, imagine a very heartfelt Japanese crime drama, very emotional, very well-written, continually interrupted by an episode of The Simpsons. Like, these people bring knives to bicycle fights. That's what Lost Judgment is, and Amon is one of the super bosses on there. And there is a super Amon where it's exceedingly difficult, and just like you know, every 40-year-old Japanese man does, they fight on the roof of a high school. Why, you ask? Because that's where Amon brings in his drones. He has a drone army, and Froob, who is running Lost Judgment, is going to be like, no, I'm going to bang your head, and your drones mean nothing to me. If you want to see that, we've got to raise $50,000 before the end of Lost Judgment to do that. We have raised a little bit over $4,000 for that. But when you donate, you can actually split your incentive. We also have the Boss Gauntlet, the 5 bosses in the game with various requirements, legendary difficulty stuff. We have to raise $120,000 to get to that. We've raised almost $2,000 for that, but we got a little bit of time, but don't wait too long to get those. I really want to see these because Lost Judgment is a banger, and we want to bang some heads of these bosses, and you want to see Froob do that. You want to know who else wants to see the super boss fight? Athenreal. Athenreal donated $25 and said, super boss fight, please. Yes, we can all do this. I totally believe in all of us. Somebody else who wants to see this? Farge. Thank you so much, Farge, for your $125 donation. So many good incentives, but I have to put this Super Amon. Those fights are always a blast. Yes, Amon wants to blast Froob with his drone. We don't want that to happen. We want to see Froob swat those drones away. Why would they be on the roof? Don't ask.
Появляются проходы и все такое.
That's just the way it works out.
Сенджера, спасибо. А вы знали, что Marvel Spider-Man — это сиквел игры «Русы против ящеров»? Ведь там Сергей Кравинов занимается охотой на ящерицу.
Да, кстати.
We have $500 from Plato2876 saying, let's keep all the extra GDQ going, everyone. I agree. Let's get the boss rush and send it the super boss fight. But also, yes, we do have Baldur's Gate 3 coming in as a bonus game. I will give you an update on that. We bring over $58,000 of the $250,000. And remember, you can donate, have your donation split into multiple incentives. After you put the amount in, be sure you can select 1 incentive, 3 incentives. You can select a bid war. It's amazing. And all of it goes to benefit the Prevent Cancer Foundation.
Будет ли обзор Forza Motorsport? Вряд ли. Spider-Man 2 по секретным документам, конечно. Слышите, что Spider-Man 2 в Турции получит русскую озвучку? Если там будет русская локализация полностью, это блин, здесь полноценного прыжка нет. Нет, с разбега, Вот Зака, кстати, понял, что уже не надо делать, что прыжок это полноценный, как в Секера и Элден. Вот создатели Вулонга это скопили.
А, вы ж не видите мое здоровье? Там под моим портретиком. Ну, там печально. 2 удара труп.
И все. Далее читает много. Будет ли обзор Mortal Kombat? Ну, может, какой ролик сделать. Далее там про Street Fighter поговорим. Как тебе идея? Ну...
Герой двигается.
Да, здесь разработчики именно делали акцент, говорили, что ускорили. Одна из проблем оригинала. Если мог узнать, что за игра, можно ссылку добавить. Ну, добавь.
And put them towards these incentives that we have opened up. I promise you will enjoy everything that we have for the rest of the day. Only bangers here this entire week at AGDQ. I'm ready. Aw, the crowd said I'm a banger. Aw, thank you.
Так, это Эстус. Про этот, конечно? Да, это Эстус. Это Эстус.
How about this? We have a $500 donation from John Ness.
Павел, спасибо огромное.
That says, always happy to support this event. Good luck to all the runners, and a big thanks to everyone behind the scenes that make this awesomeness happen. I agree. There are so many people back here behind the stage, to the side of the stage, outside the room, the people in the room. Everything here is awesome.
То есть это один день, это не просто туда поехать, побывать, вернуться обратно, с кем-то пересечься, выпадает целая неделя, соответственно, ну, приходится как бы расставлять приоритеты. Да.
All right, but the next game we have here, I am so excited for this. We have Lies of P, and I am told that we are ready to go with the any % of Lies of P. So, Blanks, show us how it's done.
Легко.
Слабый анонс — это хитрый ход Microsoft, чтобы закрыть сделку.
Hello, GDQ.
А говнокачество игр — это
Lies of P speedrunner. I
Специально
have the record
выпустили
in
Redfall, чтобы
80%,
закрыть сделку.
and I am very, very excited to showcase this game for you guys. I am joined here by my couch, Mitriz, who you guys just saw, and Nico with a C. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. Ready to see this exciting run.
Doing amazing, man. I can't wait to see you run this.
Great. So, are you guys ready for a countdown? All right. Time will be in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
All right. So, Mitch, would you like to explain a little bit of what we're doing here? What is Lies of P?
Yeah, so you see here, in honor of the great writer Carlo Collodi, that is the writer of Pinocchio, not the Disney version, but the original sort of darker novel version. And Lies of P is an even darker take on that. Basically what we're going to be doing in the city of Krat is we are a puppet. Our father is Geppetto. He created us, also created a bunch of other puppets, but they have gone on a mysterious rampage, and there's also a disease that's turning people into stone, and so our goal is to figure out what is causing that and basically to stop it, to try to save this city of Krat. There's a lot of twists and turns with the story along the way. It is a very, very interesting story, but we're going to be skipping most of it, so I hope you guys were not here for the story. We are going to be equipping stuff here so that we can get into light load. It lets us move a little faster once we're able to run, and we're picking up our weapon. We're going to pick the Dex class because that's the weapon that we're going to be using. It's going to scale better with Dex, and so we're going to get a little more damage with Dex than we would with either of the other two.
All right, thank you for talking us through that little auto scroller. That is the 1 minute walk of shame at the start of every reset.
So
we are coming up, we're going to grab these pulse cells here, just for safety. In theory, you could do the whole game without them, but if you take even a single hit, it's not going to be so good, so we grab those for safety. And as we're getting to the first sort of elite mini-boss, probably time for a couple donations.
Absolutely. We have a $56 donation from Ben O'War that says, been looking forward to this run all week. Lies of P is probably my favorite game that came out last year. I see you, Baldur's Gate. I had such a great time beating it, even though it took me 56 hours. Can't wait to see it get beaten in 56 minutes. Here's $1 for every hour it took me to beat the game for a great cause. Good luck to the runner, and thank you all at GDQ for who you are and what you do.
Right, so here we've got our first sort of elite boss. We're very low level right now, so we're using the armor steel to get a quick stagger on him, then using charged attacks to get a full stagger. Take the repose should kill him right away. He's got 1 life left. That's okay, finish him off, let's go.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky there. Damage in this game is actually rolled, it's random. It's 10% up or down from whatever the normal value would be. So here we are going to be farming up some Fable. It's the blue bar under my UI that you're seeing me build up here, and I'm going to be using that for the first boss for a weapon buff. So
yeah, Fable increases anytime you do an attack, and especially increases more when we do a charged attack. So you'll see that throughout the run. We're going to be using a lot of charged attacks. They don't necessarily do more damage, but they do build up more Fable bar, which is very powerful skills that we can use throughout the run. So here we are just basically getting towards the first main boss. We did that elite boss earlier, but this is kind of just running the normal route, so time for some donations.
Absolutely, we have a $50 donation from Big Ol' Dave Dude saying, so proud of the blanket man himself, Blanks. Your hard work and dedication is showing you're capable of anything. If I have any fellow wrench enjoyers in chat, then let's get a donation train going and hit that $2 million.
Thank you, Dave.
There's got to be some wrench enjoyers out there.
Oh, I am a big wrench enjoyer. To explain that, there is a weapon system in the game where you can swap different handles with different blades of weapons, and the wrench blade can be very, very strong. It has a super strong Fable art attack, especially that is Big Slam. We're coming up here on a merchant, so we're going to buy some buffs for ourselves, some rollable items that do big damage, and a couple of weapons that we're going to need. One of the weapons that we're going to use, we're going to swap to for this boss right here, and then we're going to buff it with the Electric Blitz Abrasive and hopefully get a nice scripted kill here. Blanks talk through his strategy.
Yeah, so this is the Parade Master, the first official boss fight of the game. We're going to be buffing here for some extra damage and stagger. It's going to be on the 6th, it's going to mini stagger. I'll use my weapon buff, 4 more. Okay. Hopefully get a stagger here with a charge attack. Very nice.
Ball.
To the fatal. And hopefully the left armor steel will finish him off here. One, a little bit low, 2, 3, or back a little bit of damage. That's okay. Yeah.
That was the damage roll that you were talking about. Yeah. Yes. A little bit too low, but Parade Master is down.
Still got it.
Doesn't it?
Pretty much able to skip the entire second phase of that boss fight. Played the game casually, you'll know the second phase he starts to get a lot faster with his attacks, starts to string things together more, so us being able to skip that makes us speed up the fight a lot.
So here we're coming up on the line system in this game. We're going to verify our capture check. We are indeed human. We are not a robot. Here we are at the hotel door, and a little bit of menuing, and we should have time for one or two good ones.
Absolutely, given an update on the Lost Judgment stuff. We've raised almost $5,000 for Super Amon. We've raised over $2,000 for the Boss Gauntlet. Thank you so much. We have a $500 donation from Squidilla saying, Blanks, I hope you drank your strongest potions before going into battle. All jokes aside, you're an amazing runner, and it's awesome to see you showcase the run today. Sorry I couldn't be there to cheer you on in person, but I'm so proud of you, dude.
Thank you so much, Squid.
We got another one. We have a $50 donation from Colonel Fats saying, long-time GDQ watcher, but first-time donating. Had to donate for Blanks' Lies of P run. Thank you for your help in the Discord with learning boss strats, and thank you, Mitch, as I use your run for routing. Good luck on the run, and keep lying.
Yeah, lying is actually a mechanic in the game where every time that you tell a lie, you become a little bit more human. So by the end of the game, there's sort of this cool philosophical question of, are you a puppet? Are you human? We're not going to be doing a whole lot of that because we are skipping so much of it. But yeah, we're mostly going to be telling the truth because anytime that you lie, there's a little sort of mini cutscene where it describes you becoming slightly more human. There's a couple times where it's worth it to take that, but for the most part, we are going to be telling the truth as much as we can.
Here we're introduced to our favorite palette, Gemini. Here he's going to feed us some exposition about the game as you head down Elysian Boulevard. We should have some time for a few more donations.
The desk is locked tight.
Absolutely. We have a $10 donation from Sly Dante saying, a run of Lies of P, one of my favorite games of last year, followed by a surprise Trepang 2 chaser? Aw, you're spoiling us. And to help keep the treats coming further, put my donation towards Lost Judgment's Boss Gauntlet incentive. Good luck to Blanks, and thanks to everyone here for putting together such an amazing event for a good cause. That's right. We have the Super Amon boss fight and the Boss Gauntlet open for Lost Judgment. Please select an incentive when you put in your donation. Thank you so much.
All right, time for one more.
All right, we have a $100 donation from Captain Eleno saying, last journal of the marathon, thanks for the great week and all the work everyone does for the event. Extra love to the tech crew splitting this between the Lost Judgment runs because more froob is always a good thing.
All right, so here we are coming up on another merchant where we're going to buy a few more of those throwables. And specifically, we're going to do a first skip. So this is any percent. I know it's been pretty glitchless so far, but we are going to be jumping across from a plank onto a sort of out-of-bounds railing, and it's very, very precise. You have to do a coyote time jump, so you have to jump after you have actually fully left the plank. Luckily, it'll let you get the jump. So we'll see if Blanks can do it. It switches to keyboard and mouse for a little more precision on it. Let's see, lines it up.
Кстати, видели вот этого старичка?
He's got it. Let's go.
Именно так сегодня выглядят майнеры.
Yeah, so I use both controller and keyboard and mouse for the run. That's keyboard skips and controller for the boss fights and the general
Так, Олег, спасибо. А что случилось с проектом нашей игры?
Все с ним хорошо, не беспокойся. Раньше Виталий каждый видос не говорил, сейчас NPC boss fight, similar to what you see in Souls games, you know, like a boss like Father Gascoigne. And we are going to be opening the fight by straight from behind him and backstabbing him.
Сергей, думали на этой неделе, но это
So nice.
As we walk away, we do two throwing cells. He's going to get really mad and start chasing me. Okay. We're going to try to get another backstab in here.
Beautiful backstab there.
And the idea to end out the fight here is to wait out the internal timer on backstabs. They're actually timed, so we're going to wait out about like 2 more seconds. And there we go.
Beautiful fight.
And something that people might have noticed is like the glowing on the weapon every time you walk. Mitch, can you talk about the perfect guard system?
Yes, the perfect guard system. So this game has a Sekiro-like perfect guard system where whenever you guard an attack, if you do it immediately right before it hits you within a very, very short window, you will take no damage whatsoever, you will take no stagger, and in fact, the enemy will take stagger instead, so it can be very powerful. But talking about skips, we finally have the thing that we need to do skips. We, from the donkey, have the ability to swap our weapon blades and handles now, and we are swapping the rapier blade onto the great sword handle, and that allows us to do what are called zips and pogos. So they're very precise. He's got to set it up very, very carefully in a perfect position and get a perfect angle. Let's see if he can get both. If he does it right, then when he does the attack, he should zip forward. Nice, okay. Hopefully, yes, excellent. Okay, that's part one though. 2 more parts. This is a part skip. So another precise zip here. Not quite. Have to start over, unfortunately. So yeah, there are 3 parts to this, so we'll save our big applause until the final part. But basically, we're doing a zip to get up onto the planter, a second zip that's going to launch us upward enough to get onto a big pogo to get up past a locked doorway. Okay, first part. I think this should work. Yes, excellent. First part. Okay, second part. Very precise angle. It also does require a precise timing on the roll in order to land onto that gate. If you're a little early, then you'll miss it. If you're late, then you'll miss it. So this is sort of an early game reset point from Killer for sure.
Серега, 45
hard to show off at Marathon, but it saves so much time. Definitely have to
Так, Divine Shadow, спасибо, привет. Стрим, Виталик, назови аниме, что стоит посмотреть, а то все время забываю записать. Миша, что ты там про компоты говорил? Компшоты говорил.
Also, where are we actually doing this?
Oh yes, this is hotel area.
Аниме называется «Великолепный океан».
We're just in the training area. We're just supposed to test out weapons. We're testing them out to see how we can get out of bounds with them.
Очень классная стёбная. Про эти самые. Про...
I remember when this game was being out at the beginning. People were trying to find something like that. It took a while before they actually found it.
This is actually the most recent skip that was introduced into the route that made sort of big difference. There's been tiny optimizations since then, but this was the big one that broke through. So, let's see.
Необъятный океан.
Необъятный.
It is very, very hard to get that one.
It's also worth noting that when playing on different PCs and stuff like that, these things, the timings can be like a little bit off.
Just a tiny bit different,
Что ты
yes.
делаешь это? Пополняешь фонарик?
Okay.
Знаю, Миша, не спрашивай меня, что я тут
He's
делаю.
very consistent with that first part. He's like way better than I am with that first part. So hopefully we can get this second part and we'll be able to.
Heck yeah, let's go.
Oh no!
No!
Будете делать обзор ремейка Silent Hill 2, конечно, когда
Sorry, Blanks.
Ладно, можно запускать обратный отчет для
FPS
Deep
between
Galactic
120 and
Survival.
30. 30 is actually required for the skip itself, but 120 FPS just allows us to get more precise inputs. So if I tap the button for 1 frame on 120, I'm going to get a more precise input than 1 frame on 30.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
Hold it.
Not done yet. Back to 120 for the final part. Perfectly aligned.
Сходу, конечно, не будет.
And...
Фантом Линукс так и начал нормально, заболел. Пожелайте мне скорее поправиться. В качестве терапии читаю события в Starfield. Ведь там многим более больнее, чем мне.
Chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we are skipping about 10 to 12 hours of casual playthrough content. So that is a very big skip.
Поется по мотивам «Клен зеленый».
Yeah, turns out that there's a locked door in the hotel, but immediately behind that is an unlocked door. So you just go to the unlocked door and just walk through it. Now here, we're going to be setting up for some more zips, and I'm going to actually finally explain them at this point. I know you just saw a bunch, but basically what a zip is you're going to be doing a charged thrust attack with great sword handle, and that is a very fast forward thrust, so it has a lot of momentum with it. Then we're going to block in the middle of that animation on the perfect frame to keep our momentum so that we can continue to send it forward. If we do this off of an edge, off of some sort of cliff drop off, then we can keep that momentum for a while and go forward. So let's see if we can get these ones here. Good zip.
Beautiful.
Second one. And one more till we're out of the woods.
Еще оптимизация на высоте. Я чувствую, если пройду эту игру, буду говорить о том, что зря я Lies of P критиковал. Посмотрим.
Yeah, so for this skip, we basically start in the beginning of Chapter 6. We get the first Stargazer, we'll be using that later. And we are zipping out of bounds, and we are going to be skipping from Chapter 6 to Chapter 7, so we are skipping 2 required bosses and a required area, so... We'll be running around of bounds here for probably another minute and a half, so we have some more time for donations.
Absolutely. We have a $50 donation from Sa saying, this is our first in-person AGDQ event, and I'm so hyped to see Lies of P. Where are you at, Sa? Where are you at? There we go, right over there. Thank you so much. let's go, Blanks, and let's hit $2 million. Also, we have a $5 donation from Bango that says, knock it out of the park, Blanks. So says Brango.
Time for a few more.
$7 donation from Meg Muriel saying, I finally beat Liza P earlier this month and I enjoyed every moment of it. Here's $1 for each hour it took me to beat it. How about we do that? As long as it took you longer than 5 hours, why don't you donate how many hours it took you to beat Liza P and put it towards the Lost Judgment incentive? We did cross the $5,000 mark out of the $50,000 for Super Amon, and we are almost at $2,500 out of the $120,000 we need for the boss gauntlet of Lost Judgment later on this afternoon.
All right, so here we're going to finally come back inbound. So what we do is we enter underneath the Victor boss arena, and that counts the game. Says, oh, you're in a boss arena? Let me put you back out in front of it when you quit out. So that's going to put us back inbounds. And then we immediately are going into another skip. First, we're going to grab a box that is a supply box that will allow us to buy upgrade materials for our weapon. As a reminder, we've skipped everything so far. We do not have any levels, any weapon levels. We are very, very base level, so we're going to need these for later. And then we're going to get into the Victor skip, which is a pogo. So a pogo works very similarly to a zip, but instead of using a block to keep your momentum from the edge of a sloped surface to turn your forward momentum into upward momentum. This is actually going to be a double pogo. So there's going to be a first smaller pogo, and that's going to launch us and keep our momentum into a second larger pogo. It's very precise, so it's going to line it up very carefully.
Солнышко,
angle. Does it just right?
солнышко.
Two pogos. Let's go. He's got it.
System with it, it's insane. And you might be looking at these skips and thinking, well, you know, he's just slashing midair or something like that. The lineups for these skips are so insanely precise that I have been watching Blanks for a while now. The amount of time this man has spent just like sitting at these skips is insane, but every single one just looks so consistent now. It's amazing.
Yeah, his PB is 3 minutes better than mine because he just hits everything first try with that consistency and really grinds out those really amazing times. And we are coming up here into yet another skip, surprisingly. We're going to skip the entirety of the swamp section. First, we're going to use a pogo. We've explained that before. And then we're going to use a mega zip, or zip pogo if you want. Basically, we are going to both have our momentum canceled by a block, so we keep it forward. And we're going to have a slope that redirects us upward, so that we get both upward and sideways momentum. He's going to try to line it up here. It's very, very precise. You might only go for it 1 or 2 times. It's very precise, so it'd be great to show off, but if it doesn't work, that's okay.
Lucian is the key.
It is so precise. That's why you're going to see a lot of
but the
little
rest still
adjustments to
lives
get
within
there.
his rotting corpse. When the God King claims that final pearl of divinity, his reign will begin.
That's insane.
I've been working on that one all week. That one's kind of new to the route. That one, it only saves like 10 seconds, not that huge of a time save, but I wanted to show that one off. But yeah, as we run along this mountain of dead puppets, we have some time for donations.
All right, are you ready for this one? We have a $50 donation from Old Socks and Shoes. Why did Pinocchio fail as an actor? His acting was a little wooden. I'm so sorry. Let's beat cancer. I live for your groans. Thank you for that. We also have a $250 donation from Abulinka saying, love GDQ, Liza P is the first Souls-like I finished so far, and I just finished it yesterday in time for this run. Love your effort and keep going. We also have a $50 donation from Jamek87 saying, hey GDQ, sending some loves to lives of P and Blanks. This is such an amazing game that plays wonderfully and is one of the most innovative stories of any game I've played in a long time. Put this donation towards Baldur's Gate 3. Shadowheart is best girl. That's right. We do have the bonus game for Baldur's Gate 3 coming out as well. We have raised just over $68,000 out of the $250,000 for that. We are also almost at $2,500 for the boss gauntlet in Lost Judgment and over $5,000 for the Super Amon boss fight in Lost Judgment. Remember, you can split your donations to multiple incentives.
All right, so here, now that we've been out of bounds for a while, we need to get back in bounds. We don't have a boss arena to teleport with. So we need to use this out of bounds geometry here to make Pogo. We're going to be doing it off of the edge of the world. So if he fails, he could fall and die, and let's really hope that that does not happen, but he's got a precise setup, he should be fine here.
Жужуцу Кайсен это магическая битва.
Nice. That was really good.
If you can get the jump,
Heck yeah.
there we go.
Выходи на разрыв. Вот мы это самое. Нужно устроить стрим.
So here we're coming up on
Да,
probably
Виталий, читал донат от славянский
alluded
удар
skip to explain. This is called carriage skip. Basically, it starts out like so. We're going to jump back in bounds, and we're going to trigger this elevator from the bottom, which is a required story flag. Basically, when you kill the boss at the top of the elevator, you take an elevator down here, it breaks, then you're stuck down. We don't have that effect because we have essentially skipped past that. We sequence broke that, so if you want to do a little bit more explaining of that, Mitch, I will leave that to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, we need the game to think that we have killed the boss. So what it checks for isn't actually the boss being dead. It actually checks that you have entered the arena, it checks that you have gotten to the bottom of the elevator, and it checks that you have pressed the button. We start by going to the bottom of the elevator. Now we're going to go backwards to try to get to the boss. This is going to be a double Pogo Mega Zip. And he has to time it like frame perfectly. So this one's really hard. Could take a few tries. Planks has a just wild setup for it that I don't understand yet, but he's consistent with it. Oh, not quite first try. That's okay. So basically, yeah, it's a small Pogo upward, and then on the way down, he has to time a perfect Pogo and Zip input on the way down from a very, very precise position.
There we go.
And it looks so wild when you get it.
So here we didn't get the full skip. We're going to do a little bit of a backup here. Normally you would fly upwards and you would fly into like this window. But I have, however, prepared a backup in case this happens. And do you want to explain what this skips, Mitch?
Yeah, so basically this is going to skip everything from chapter 9, I believe it is, which is several mini-bosses as well as the corrupted Parade Master main boss. And the way that that's going to happen is basically that we get the game to think that we've gone through this mini-boss, the Walker of Illusion, and at that point it says you must be trapped. There must be no way that you can exit this area without going through the corrupted Parade Master. But what we're going to do is when we press the elevator button, we're going to cancel the elevator animation using our pocket watch from our inventory. This is going to let us go back to the hotel that is supposed to be destroyed at this point in the story. It will not be destroyed when we get there, but we can warp out and walk back in, and it will be destroyed, which will get us all the way into chapter 10, skipping. I lost track of how many chapters we skipped at this point.
Yeah, we have not done any combat since chapter 2. Keep in mind if you're going to chapter 10. We have skipped a lot of casual content, so very spoiler-free, one could say.
Yes, I would highly recommend that you play the game for yourself for the very interesting story, for the amazing combat. We have not gotten to see it just yet, but we will see it a little bit. So hold your breath here, you know. But yeah, so once we walk back into the hotel, it's going to be destroyed, and we are finally, for the first time, going to be getting some upgrade materials for our weapon. We won't use them just yet, but finally get to see, oh, that's how you upgrade weapons. But yeah, I think as we're going through the hotel, going through the story section, probably time for a donation or two.
How about this $10,000 donation from the Yeti? Hey all, Yeti here. With this donation, we've hit $80,000 raised from the sales of the AGDQ 2024 collection. We'd like to take a second to give a big shout out to the artists who contributed their work. Thank you to Miski, 1,000 Dead Draculas, Winter Artwork, Gazola, 60 Bones, Mikoto, Pixel Eyebeat, K Duffels, and Mark. You are all amazing. Thank you for your craft. Also, Pinocchio wants Oreo.
I'd like an Oreo up here. stage text got Oreos back. But yeah, so basically, this is where we're going to see the story. So we talked to... but after that, Antonia, Lady Antonia, and she is going to give us the sort of key password to get into Chapter 10. We're actually supposed to have like a bunch of key items at this point, but we've skipped them all. Luckily, the game just doesn't check for the key items, so we get to just play this scale on a piano, the door opens up, and we head into Chapter 10.
All right, so coming up is probably the most annoying fight for speedruns and challenge runs. However, we are not going to be doing it. Thankfully, we found a skip for the Black River Brotherhood rematch. It's going to start at the very, very start of the chapter, and it's going to take us all the way to the end. So you will see just how broken this game is.
So speaking of all these skips, how many bosses do we actually fight in this run?
In this run, so far we have fought 2, and we're going to skip this next one. And then we got the final 3 hardest last bosses in the game that we have to fight. So after this, we will finally actually be playing some of the combat in the game. Starting with this pogo here to get ourselves out of bounds.
Да, товарищи белорусы, ну чё вы, девушки-геймеры
drop down to the end.
Oh, cool.
And we're past the chapter. Let's go.
Нету.
Давайте мы вежливо покиваем товарищу. Так.
Okay, so now that we are in Chapter 11, by the way, this is the final chapter. The final chapter of the game. There is this beach that has a lot of memories. So a bunch of story. We're just going to skip through that. But we are going to activate these memories because every time that you activate a memory, it gives you Ergo. This is the souls of this game. And we're going to use those to level up. We're going to use those to buy some more throwables because throwables are very strong when we are this low on power. And we are going to grab a couple more upgrade materials strewn across the beach. But that's pretty much all we're going to be doing is grabbing some stuff here for a little while. So time for quite a few donations.
Absolutely. We have a $100 donation from Alex that says, so sad that it started the last day of AGDQ. Good luck to Blanks for this Lies of P run and for all the other amazing runners. And a huge thank you to staff, volunteers, and anybody else that made this week a success. We have a $250 donation from Black Noise 06 that says, putting this donation to Baldur's Gate 3. Lies of P is the second best game of 2023 and the best Souls-like game ever made. Can't wait to see this run, the Baldur's Gate 3 run, and the last real adventure of the Final Fantasy series, Final Fantasy V. Doing my job for me, talking about the upcoming schedule. We have raised over $71,000 out of the $250,000 for Baldur's Gate 3. And you know what? We just opened a milestone for Baldur's Gate 3. If we can get $2 million raised total across the entire event, we will get a bonus any % run of Baldur's Gate 3 on top of what we're already getting. So get those donations in. Every donation will go towards that. We are almost to 1.6 million here on the donation total.
Oh, that's for sure going to be made.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, we have a bit more walking, so
all right, we have a $100 donation from Evenosaurus Rex saying all these Pinocchio jokes are just a 2-bit on the nose for me.
Oh,
oh no, yes.
No.
Thank you. Yes. I have my pun enjoyers in the crowd. We have a $100 donation from Mog314 saying, I became a fan of Souls-likes in 2023 and Blanks and Mitch played a big role in that. Two amazing runners and streamers. Great to see them together.
И это вы называете боссом.
That's right, yeah. All right, so here we are finally going to actually be increasing our power level. So the way that we're going to do this, first we're going to go over and we're going to get a technique crank that's going to make our weapons scale better with technique. That's the dexterity of the game. Since that's the only thing that we're going to be putting levels into pretty much, the better scaling, the more damage we're going to do. We're also going to upgrade our weapon all the way to a +5.
А вот этот босс менял.
3.
Ну это да, чисто на.
System, by the way, it's so clean.
Yes, you actually, because you mix and match the handles and the blades, you actually upgrade the blades, and then you put the scaling on the handles. It is a very, very unique dynamic where you can adjust. You can just get one blade that you really, really like, and you can level it up, and then you can try it with a bunch of different handles, with different scalings, with different things like that. He's also grabbing the gold coin fruit here, which has some uses throughout the game, but we're actually just going to sell it because we need as much Ergo as we can, because every level, every little bit that makes us do a bit more damage is going to make these fights that much faster and that much safer, because she's in front no matter what. So if you have to play the fight perfectly, the shorter you have to play it perfectly.
I've not known you. Have I yet to disappoint your majesty?
Do
what she said. Yes.
The attack hotel is a different map from the original hotel, and this shortcut that I'm heading through now is normally locked, but in the attack version they assume that you've already taken out the boss that's behind this door right here. This is the Black Rat Brotherhood, the first fight, not the rematch. And we are going to be backtracking down here, grabbing some money, grabbing some quartz, and we're going to head back to the merchant here in Malm District, which sells infinite of the throwables and consumables that we will be needing for the rest of the run.
We also there, what we just did was another one where we quit out inside of a boss arena. Technically we were behind the boss arena, but the game says that's close enough. That counts as in the boss arena, puts us in front of it. Let's just skip that boss since we are going backwards. So here we are going on scary attack. He's got no fear, blanks no.
One misstep and I will have your head.
So for this merchant, we are basically going to be buying the different throwables and weapon buffs that are acid and fire.
Your Highness,
are only going to be fighting humans, and humans are generally mostly to acid, but also pretty close to fire. So those are the things that we're going to get, as well as shot puts. Shot puts are pure physical, but they do so much damage, and most importantly, they can stagger an enemy.
Buy me a twin tree to give my
queen. You can't actually complete the stagger unless you use a charged attack, but shot puts count as a charged attack, and they're way faster than a fully charged attack, and you can do them from range, so they're going to be very important for the
has more than a vague.
I am going to spend all of our remaining Ergo to level up.
Isabel clears her. She has escaped the island, a refugee from the joy.
You're prepared
yes,
for our boss fight. This is, again, the third for the final boss of the game. We're level like 10 or
then looks to Isabel to continue the event. It is good and right that you mourn the dead, but do not let your soul.
Speaking of door guardians, kind of
God working indeed.
the first time we're actually fighting a big boss, or I guess
The cub won. The Queen smiles her approval and looks to her.
Great.
I do not know if this right. I trust his death
as
as well, sir. Basic decency is non-negotiable. So you eliminated the...
I've no more of your account.
I just feel whatever's gotten into you.
But
Your Majesty, the God working is no ally.
being weird.
Yeah, also
Throw your plans in disarray.
You have worked so hard.
He's in business.
I still don't know why that happens. Is that an actual move? Is that a bug? I'm scared of it.
Но я думаю,
Blank's
сейчас
just,
многие люди,
alpha.
которые сидят в чате, которые снимают,
We are also going to use the Fable art here for the Great Sword Blade. So what that does is it does a lot of damage. Here, hit the foot with it. Very nice. And so basically the goal is just to do as much damage to that foot as we can. We're going to be using charge attacks specifically to recharge our Fable.
I have never seen that.
Yeah,
That is so unlucky.
that never happened before, as we say here on GDQ.
Так, ну потому что не печатают.
Ну, иногда печатаю, но не
Для
insane.
игр механика
What's
вообще
that?
The general way that you try to fight Door Guardian is using dodges. His attacks have these like massively sort of lingering hitboxes where he'll kind of come through you at weird times and weird angles. So trying to get those perfect guards is really, really difficult. And if you mess up even a single perfect guard, you get a status effect that's called shock. Not electric shock, just shock that makes it so you basically don't regenerate any stamina, which leaves you a sitting duck for more attacks and for dying. So instead of trying to dodge all the attacks,
Queen Justinia sucks in her cheeks, then offers you her unwavering. The Queen retracts her hand. An audience is granted.
My Queen was not able to hit it that time.
The Queen
Many
have laid claim to
time,
Lucian's legacy, including his own inferior
I
presume our visitor has more than a vague title.
I am consort to her Royal Highness
so we won't get that big damage at the start, but that's okay.
Let us continue.
Just a little bit longer of a fight.
Isabel clears her throat and
Нормальных интересов.
a refugee from the joy. Yes, mad sorcerer takes.
Персонаж Final Fantasy VII.
And she nods. It is good and right that you mourn the dead,
Okay, this is pretty nice. We like that he does the stomps. Those are pretty easy attacks. That's a half standard. He's not all the way down on the ground just yet.
Word of the great champion.
Just a few more attacks. He should be maybe one more charge. There we go.
Slayed by your
And now he's going to use the
Queen
fire abrasive because
looks
the
to her
fire does a whole
great
lot of taking damage on him.
I do not know
Boom,
his
health
right.
in one hit.
I trust his death.
Alright, and so the fire continues to do that ticking damage because he has a ton of
brought
health
hope to the elephant.
that
So
fire
you eliminated the butcher
well
responsible.
under half, and now we're just going to stack him down one more time to take down the other half.
Органом
Okay, stomps are
восприятия
good.
является зрение,
Like to
как
see
можно
that.
пойти
Probably a few
плохим
more
зрением, я, в
attacks.
принципе,
Maybe like
тем
one
не
or two
менее,
more
да,
charges.
иногда и более того, если он
Question.
There we
экран
go.
What a bit
текста,
premature,
Don't get hit
don't you
by him coming
think?
down.
You can get hit by him
более
falling to the
впечатляет,
ground,
да.
but luckily that did
Разработчики
not happen. This should
делают,
finish him off, and it did.
Nice.
Let's go.
Beautiful.
помощи людям с
That's how
ограниченными
it usually
возможностями.
goes. That's how he usually
Тем
behaves.
лучше, да.
Несомненно.
I don't know what he was
И
doing the
я
first
только
time.
приветствую
Yeah, he can
тех
definitely be
разработчиков, которые
very
создают
weird.
кучу
So now we're
разных
going into
настроек
more skips.
под разные
So
там,
basically, this entire ending section,
под
this
разную
Arch Abbey
специфику
level,
зрения.
we used to have
Потому что
absolutely
очень
no
много людей
skips
с
for it. It was
особенностями
really, really hard to
зрения.
find
Некоторые
anything.
по-разному видят цвета
And then
внезапно.
some
Для
community
меня это
members,
был
Yojo
я
and
тоже не
Giant
знал.
Cookie Jar,
Оказывается,
basically just
что
went to
людей с
town on this
дальтонизмом
area,
прям очень
found
много,
like
сколько,
5 of them.
не 10%.
So we basically go
То есть это
skips
нужно
back to back.
учитывать. Плюс,
Just hits.
First one,
некоторые виды
excellent.
далеко не всегда хорошие.
That's a good
Другие
pogo.
не
Yeah,
так
so
хорошо
to my right here, there is a
ориентируются по звуку.
required key item prop right here, where you would raise up some bridges and do some required platforming, but
Николай
who needs
Макеев,
that? We have
спасибо.
pogos.
Подскажите,
Skip that,
есть наподобие
What do we need to
Deus Ex
lower
на
bridges for if we can just
Divinity?
go
Что
above
в ней больше киберпанка, чем в игре Red.
Yeah, this place here is a little scary. There are these big enemies here, and they are going to try to kill us. But as long as we bait them into an attack that we can then dodge,
Это не совсем
we
сюжетный
should be able to
киберпанк,
climb the
точнее,
ladder
совсем не сюжетный.
before they can reach
Ребята решили с
us.
козырей
I
зайти.
do wonder, did anyone fight these guys casually?
Shut your
Oh, I did.
boil and
You
roar
fought
just
both of them?
Both of them. Oh, yeah.
Arcs will fall and your
It was a
memory
disaster. I would not
will
recommend it.
They will believe it was
I ran.
your will,
Играть или
your
только
plan,
трындеть? Ну, у нас в
your
основном
So we're coming
трындеть.
up, and I think this
А
is going to be the
поиграть
first
это уже
safety
как
stargazer that we took. The rest of the ones that we've
Посвети
taken throughout the run were necessary. This one's just a little bit of safety as we get
посвети.
into a bunch more skips. It's like seriously back to back to back to back skips. So if we miss any one, don't want to have to
For a
try them
moment,
all again.
Isbale appears
So here is going to be another mega zip, but we're going to cancel our
Isbale
momentum of the mega
screams in
zip
pain
with a
and
back
clutches her
step.
head.
So
Так,
we're
Артем
going to
Горунов,
use
спасибо.
our
Детали. Пока ты не
So
сгорел,
we're gonna
скажи,
cancel
что
the forward
покажи свои
momentum
таланты.
for the
Я,
mega
например,
zip.
профессионально
just
выношу
right.
мозг.
Beautiful.
Таня фон
Beautiful.
Де
We would have liked to go a
военная
little
хроника
higher
маленькой
onto the
девочки.
ballista,
Не
but
топ, кто не
that's okay.
согласен.
You bring
Война.
yourself awake
no
to the
problem at
cold
all.
gaze of 1,000
Ну, они
stones
Went out to
and the hot
react on the
gaze of the
enemies,
dwarf
and we are
Isbale,
straight
right
into
hand of the queen.
another mega zip. This time it is a double pogo, mega zip, cancelled momentum.
First, I think, don't
I don't know
bother
how
thanking
Cookie and
me.
Josh found these things. They are just wild.
this one is ridiculous. This one, I don't know how they saw that vision.
We're so thankful that they did, though, because the amount of things that they found that we can skip
But no
is
words spill
basically
forth.
because of them. Like,
Yeah.
those two people in general have found, like, maybe 90% of the skips in this game.
Might be 100.
Oh,
Специальные
myself a
паразиты,
rest.
их надо убивать.
Those masks can be done.
Got the first pogo, but didn't get the mega zip afterwards.
Не-не, здесь надо
All of these
убивать
are
именно
very, very
паразитов.
precise on the positioning and the angle, so that's why you see blanks take
Мне
the
кажется,
time
вот
to
это
really slow this
Every
thing up.
ounce of energy within you evaporates.
Do try to read
That's
that.
good.
Yeah,
Got the height. Excellent.
this up
That dose proves quite alarming for
Oh,
my
this one,
normal
yes, the
subject.
elevator skip.
Let's try a new
I would say
approach,
is
shall we?
probably the most precise. Not necessarily the most hard, but the one where you're probably going to see blanks set it up for, you know,
Ну, очень
20 to 30 seconds to get into just the right positioning. So first what we're going to do is we're going to send the elevator back down. Now for safety we can grab a stargazer here as it's going down. And then we're going to send the elevator back up.
The attempt is futile.
And while the elevator is coming back up, we're basically going to jump onto it so it can raise us up a little bit onto a little side line. And from there, we need to do a very, very precise zip that kind of goes around a wall while kind of skirting the wall. If we go too far left, we're just not going to make it. If we go too far right, we're going to bounce off the wall and go
But
completely
no
the wrong
fog
direction.
wafts
So,
forth.
we have to set it up very, very precise.
Там снова спасибо,
Starts
товарищи
with
белорусы.
30
У вас на
FPS
стримах
in order to
присутствует
get us
девушка
up
Кемер.
onto this little
И
beacon here.
серьезно, девушка Кемера бывает достаточно, блин.
Okay, now 120 FPS for the very, very precise setups that are needed. So he's basically looking all around the screen. If you want to look at the player cam, you can see his eyes are going to go top left, bottom right, and he's basically lining up just so many different positions into the exact spots. I cannot tell you what they are because there's like 10 of them, and but yeah, you need to make sure every single thing is in exactly the right spot to get the perfect position. So,
вот видишь, вот
to set it up, back to
через L2 квадрат. Не, дальний, не позже, вот подальше.
And while he was setting up for that, we just hit 1.6 million.
Let's go.
This area is incredibly dangerous as well. There's going to be some robots that are incredibly fast and dangerous. And one hit
Не, ну здесь разработчики типа фишка их долгое обучение.
Roosevelt's this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to get a dodge on those. Once again, we are low level. We have not leveled health at all, so we would absolutely get one shot by those enemies. He's got his Kool-Aid with him. And we are coming up on the second to last boss fight of the run. Arguably the hardest one. I know at least she gave me the most trouble casually was Laxasia. But we've got a very long elevator ride to get up to her, so we probably have time for a couple of donations here.
All right, we have a $23 donation from non-binary code says, I've never played Lies of P, so never finished it. I don't have a number of hours to donate for, so instead of Lies of P, I'm donating for Liza Minnelli, who my research indicates has 23 film credits. So here's $23 for my world record defeat of Liza Minnelli. Take that, Liza. Now let's hit those incentives. Yes, we are almost at $6,000. That's $1,000 with Super Amon, and we have raised almost $3,000 out of the $120,000 for Lost Judgment's Boss Gauntlet. Hey, we have a $25 donation from Ben Theory saying, where does Pinocchio work? I'm ready. At the olfactory. Took you a second. Took you a second. We have a $25 donation from Toby Throws saying, playing as Pinocchio is such a great game. I know I would. Okay, I'm sorry for this joke, but I know where my heart lies.
No.
Yes.
We are coming in here into the boss fight, and basically almost every attack that she has is going to kill us immediately, except for one kick that she can just kind of do out of nowhere. If she does that a couple times, we're going to die regardless. What makes this fight so difficult is he's going to be doing these guard parries. So that's the Fable art attack that he is doing, where you can interrupt her combo, but only with a very precise timing. Think of it like the Dark Souls parry timing, but even tighter. So, but there's a kick. That's okay. That's okay. We expect that to happen once, as long as it doesn't happen again. Okay, so she has some very...
Oh my god, there's no way.
It happened again. That is very, very unlucky.
So rare.
Yeah. Because this boss requires all of the consumables that we're going to have, I think we're going to go ahead and load a backup save here.
Using the acid abrasives, we need to go ahead and load the file again.
That's how tight this money really is.
Ну, как я говорил, либо на этом, либо вы уже видели на стрим.
Absolutely.
Там же как бы...
It is very tight because
Вот,
if we try
пожалуйста, да.
to save any
Вчерашний стрим, да, это я там
consumables, we would be further levels down, and the bosses would take you 20-30% longer, which is not really ideal. Okay, so you'll notice that we use the acid abrasive here, and not only is she a human, so she's weak to acid, she's also very weak to destruction damage, so we break her shield on her back with a single guard parry. Very, very strong to do. I recommend trying it out yourself usually as well. Break her shield and not have to worry about it. So all of these attacks that she has, they are very delayed. They're very hard to get the timing for. Okay, blocked the kick. Not bad. Okay, she might do another kick here. Nope, she got staggered. Excellent. Okay, this is a wild pattern. Kick here. Nice. Good guard parry on it. Excellent.
Oh my god.
Another kick. Oh my gosh. That's okay. Blanks has got this. Okay, just a little bit more. She should stagger. So we might be able to get her to stagger here right after this attack. Oh, that's not a great attack to see, but hopefully the stagger happens. No. Good. Shot put staggered. Okay. So whenever you stagger her, she tries to attack you. You have to perfect guard that. Then take the riposte. Just a few more attacks to go. But this is when she can be really, really scary. Don't get overconfident with it. Just finish it out nicely. That's not a good attack to see. That is a really bad attack. They might just wait this out. Excellent.
First phase.
That was first phase. We got a whole nother one.
So starting out phase 2, we're going to be throwing 2 of these acid throwables. Using a acid abrasive. Doing 3 more. Getting our menus up and ready to go. Blocking the lightning back at her.
Зачем тебе оружие? Это такие звери, что им только ведра дают.
Другого мира, наверное.
Let's see how this phase 2 goes. 3. Block cancel. We do 4 more.
Ну что, поляки показывают Миядзаки, как
One more.
делать эксцидент. Да.
One more.
Это испанцы и Бухарест, это кто?
And our damage looks a little bit low here, but we'll see if we can finish it off.
Так, Артем Горунов, спасибо. Ты не прав. Маленькую девочку переселился клерк, потому что не верил в Бога, и тот его так наказал, он возродился, можно сказать,
This is so scary when you have to actually fight her, but let's go!
Должен молиться сон.
So perfect.
What a perfect second phase. So that script, if it goes well, can basically kill her right away without her getting a chance to do anything. In this case, we really low rolled on the damage. It's kind of a theme of this particular run, but Blanks has no issue fighting that second phase. I would be very, very scared if that happened, but Blanks keeping it cool and collected. Here we have an option to increase our humanity, which is a little slow.
You lose around 10 seconds of your cutscene into you being standing still for like 10 seconds, so you just choose to let her live there instead of giving her peace. The humanity does not really come into play in this category. In other categories, you need to build up enough to fight the optional final boss, but here we're just going for the fastest possible.
There are different endings based on how much humanity you have, and in this case, 30% run is fastest to have no humanity.
А мне нравилось, как эти создатели. Нео 2 лучше.
Okay, well.
В смысле, за пределами.
Throwing a lot of throwables there, but...
All right, so here we got another pogo here to skip quite a long walking section here.
Да, что мы говорим, что говорим в это самое, что бог Стима.
You have to get a particular block cancel to go as fast as possible to make it to the other side. The pogo itself is not that hard, but getting to the other side, you have to do a very, very tight run and jump. Oh, that's my bad. Do it. That's okay. Still worth it. I think this skip saves around a minute, so definitely still worth it, even if it takes a few tries. Oh, a little bit low on the jump. Yeah, this one is pretty precise, so he has to not only start running immediately, but also has to jump at just the right time to make it up. And also, on the pogo, has to make sure not to go too high to bump the ceiling, but you got it, let's go.
Coming up is one of the most scary parts of the entire game. There's these gunmen on raptors that are trying to shoot at me. Think of like the raptors in Orlando in Dark Souls 1, but we made it past there. And coming up on this enemy here, this guy is a real jerk. Hopefully he will be nice to us today.
The Roosevelt, he can do some long strings of combos. Hopefully he won't. We tried to stagger him. Broke his weapon. Excellent backstab. Let's go. He's just a regular enemy, but I swear he scares me more than Door Guardian.
I was going to say, he's the actual final boss.
Yes, yes.
So there what ended up happening is he fell on my skip setup, so I cannot stop my skip, so I have to quit out and restart.
So here we have another double pogo that lets us skip. There is a endless that normally you could do a quest and she'll try to help you out, but we haven't done her quest, so she'll try to attack us and not let us through, but instead we can skip her with this precise double pogo here.
This one is also really, really precise. It's a little bit, I do a timed input for this one, so you have to go up and then time your W input as well as slash input, so it's really precise.
Yeah, there are a couple of different setups for this one, but all of them are scary, so it's kind of a pick your poison. But the one Blanks has, he's usually pretty consistent with it.
Виталик, что лучше, Глория и Дмитера был survivors или Future Fullist survivors?
Глория и Дмитера, там прикольная механика.
Типа Glory Hole. Фил Спенсер, кстати, заявил, что Microsoft теперь является самым крупным издателем в игровой индустрии. Как думаете, сможет ли он имидж типа каждое подразделение само себе хозяйка? Вот, поэтому я пока не видел каких-то серьезных и достойных результатов работы Фила Спенсера. Можно ли играть за время?
If not more, yeah.
Вот,
And
видишь,
it's
это
over
точка
half
для
of this
этого.
speed run, by the way. We have already been here for half of the time in this one chapter. So even in the speed runs, we cannot get away from just how long this. Yes, let's go.
Now we're finally reaching Geppetto.
Good riddance to a bad
What up, Dad?
Father.
Do you think he was a good dad?
Yes, in terms of giving us one less line of dialogue, he is a good father.
He's a good father.
You look at your companions in shock. Black Ring influence or not, the enormity of the Queen's plan is revealed to kill everyone in the city.
He tried to give us a hug.
It's a show of strength. I can't approve, but who am I
A
to
couple
be
more
there?
of the skips
eye for an eye.
zips coming up here after we take this Stargazer. This one actually is not for safety. This is so that we can level up finally again after Axasia. We got a bunch of level up. We are going to get some safety vitality. It's not strictly necessary, but even in the world record level, you generally want to take that vitality to make sure you don't get one shot. Instead, we get two shot, which is not a lot better, but it's better.
It's double better.
It is twice as good. That's true.
Николай
Alright,
Макеев,
so
спасибо.
line up this position here. This Pogo barely gets enough height, or doesn't
Да, один из таких предтечей
but when we hit it, if we just barely get enough height, so we have to make sure that we roll at the very top of the Pogo, otherwise we're not going to make it up.
We're going only up.
Only up. Beautiful.
Nice,
Okay.
nice, nice.
That's part one.
Got more to go.
Got a little more to go, so now it is going to be another Mega Zip with a momentum cancel, but you have to momentum cancel at the end, not at the start. Good.
Oh my god, he is so
And he made
good
it
at
up
the
first
game.
try. Let's go.
He's so good at the beginning.
He is so good. I wish I was him.
I wish I was him.
All right, one more Pogo here, which is going to put us upwards into the bottom of the final boss arena. We've kind of seen this one before, if you count as underneath a boss arena and you quit out and puts you in front. So save us walking around to the front of his arena. Beautiful.
По коопу вроде можно
And then we
мультиплеер.
are actually going to exit the boss arena. We're going to be in it. The boss technically not going to be loaded quite yet, but we're going to exit the arena just so that we can go and pick up a summon. And this does actually save time. At the world record level, the summon does save us some time. This little detour to go back over to the boss cutscene and quit out a second time. So we're back to the front and activate the summon.
Yeah, you would think it'd be faster to fight the boss without the summon, but we are so underpowered that it's almost better to just take this 40-second detour or whatever to get ourselves a summon.
Yeah, because one thing is that he takes aggro, another thing is that he actually does like decent damage.
He does.
Is it like 2k or something we counted in practice? That he
I
actually does?
Throughout the fight, yeah, somewhere around there. It's, you know, it's very random. Sometimes he'll get more hits in, sometimes he'll just not do quite so much. But
Sometimes he will instantly die, that's also a possibility.
hopefully, we're just hoping that he lives through the entire first phase and about half of the second phase. If we can get that out of him, then we will be having a very good time. So buff up on the weapon. And he's another boss where we're going to try to dodge. His arm swings very wildly, and it's super hard to time the perfect guards, so dodging ends up being a little easier. And his arm swings are so wide that even if he's attacking the Spectre, we have to dodge, otherwise we'll get
Спасибо,
hit.
Виталий. Там ты нам аниме
Okay, good. Weapon, Fable Arts.
Ты также все год обещаешь посмотреть
As well.
Yes. Recharge a little bit of our Fable. Yeah, this is pretty good. He's not done any of the worst attacks that he could do.
Поэтому будь осторожен.
Almost down. He may even stagger soon.
Should, right? Like he should do those
Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't before he phase transitions. Looks like this time he probably won't.
It's fine, it's fine. So
There we go.
okay, beautiful, beautiful
Summon there.
Beautiful phase one.
Alright, Spectre's still got over half health, so that's good. And what that's going to do is going to make the Spectre take a lot of these ranged attacks so that we have time to hit him. Spectre is dying from that. He's not long for this world.
No, he's fine. He's fine. Surprise.
Oh no.
My boy.
That's okay, we can finish it off without him. So basically, the start of this phase 2 is going to be very similar, but if you ever let him get distance, he's going to start doing ranged attacks, so we try to stay directly on top of him and keep fighting him. He is then eventually going to go into a phase transition, and at that point, we're going to start playing ranged against him as well with throwaways. Okay,
Scary.
Went for the perfect guard there. Oh my gosh. This is some very scary energy. Here's the phase transition. So he's going to go away. He's going to rebuff up and start to use some throwables to set the boss on fire as well. Anytime he can get the hits in, he's going to do those, but anytime he's forced to back off, he's going to start to do those throwables.
Run away.
Yep. There's this giant hand that comes down from the sky. We need to be very far away from that. Okay, got him afflicted with acid. Hopefully fire will afflict him as well here. Very nice guard parry. Okay, just a few more. He's on fire.
Nice.
Okay, with this stagger, we might be able to kill him with the riposte here.
Should die?
I think he's going to be a little alive, yes. But we've got 2 shot puts left, and that'll do it. Let's go!
That was a beautiful fight, dude.
Beautiful.
All right, well, this has been Lies of P. Time will be coming up in about like 20 seconds or so. There's this elevator here, and I'm going to last resort, which will kill me. We'll have a conversation with Geppetto, and we will be giving our heart up, and that will be the end of 80%. So I want to thank you guys all for being here today. It's been a pleasure to have you guys on the couch, Nico and Mitch, and everyone watching. Thank you, GDQ, for having me. It's been wonderful. Thank you all. And yeah, I'll let you guys know when time is coming up.
Where can people find you?
I stream almost every day at twitch.tv/blanks. If you guys want to find me and come say hi to me. I will probably be doing lives of people when I get home. And here we are, final conversation. I will call time.
I've spotted something.
3, 2, 1, time.
Там, кстати, да, из ЖП навалит по
First time the game gets showcased, and you just do it like that.
Just like that.
Had some rough moments, but overall that was a run that I'm happy with.
Это не польская игра, это игра, которая делалась командой из
Just thank you to the Lies of P speedrunning community. Thank you to Yojo and Giant Cookie Jar for finding all those skips that we've used throughout the run. Thank you to Blanks for pushing this run as far as it has gone, as well as Spicy. They really traded the record back and forth a whole bunch of times. I got the record once, so that's pretty good, I think. One time. Let's go. But yeah, so just what an awesome speedrunning community, and hopefully hope to see more of you all out there speedrunning Lies of P.
Heck yeah. Thanks for having me.
All right. I think that's all, guys. Thank you all so much for having me. It's been Lies of P.
Все уже увидели. Общую черту. За пару твой смеш не трогал, не успел.
That was amazing. I will admit, I was watching that last boss fight, and I'm like, is this featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series?
Наверное.
I did not want to interrupt the boss fight to say that. We've got more Awesome Games Done Quick 2024 coming up. We've got Trepang 2 that was added to the schedule, and then Lost Judgment. So you're not going to want to go away, as more AGDQ here on the final day will be coming up.
Еще ты там оказываешься после смерти.
I do want to talk about some of the donations that we've had coming in for that. I did want it because we were talking about Lies of P, and how about this? We have a $66 donation from Flametail that says, here's $66 for the 66 hours it took me to beat Lies of P twice. It was my top played game of 2023, and I can't wait for the DLC. Way to go, Blanks and Couch. We also have a $25 donation from T-Cash saying, so cool, getting to watch Blank speedrun this game for such an awesome cause. He's been so dedicated to perfecting this run, and it really shows. We have a $33 donation from Rai Rai Beans saying, these are the kinds of runs I love to see at GDQ. Here is $33 for my time to beat Lies of P. Let's keep this train going to reach all of the incentives. Yes, we have incentives open. Lost Judgment is in 2 games. We have 2 incentives open for it. We have reached almost $7,000 out of $50,000 for the Super Amon boss fight. Let me tell you about this. So Lost Judgment, it's in the Yakuza Like a Dragon series. Like a Dragon Infinite Wells coming out next week. These are really well-crafted Japanese crime family stories, very heartfelt, continually interrupted by an episode of The Simpsons. So you're going to see dudes bring a knife to a bicycle fight. Amon is the super boss, and this is actually a bigger super boss version of it. Amon, they're going to be fighting on the roof of a high school, because that's what you do when you're 40-year-old Japanese men. But that's because Amon brings in drones, and Froob doesn't care about your drones. So we need to get this so we can so Froob can show you how much he doesn't care about Amon's drones. We also have the boss gauntlet, the 5 bosses that are in Lost Judgment. It's part of the gauntlet DLC. Froob's going to go through that. We have raised just over $3,000, over the $120,000 to get that incentive. And yes, we do have Baldur's Gate 3 All Acts on the menu tonight. If we can get over get $250,000, we'll get the All Acts speed run. We've raised almost $77,000 out of that. But also, if we can get $2 million across the entire marathon, we will add